He'd been talking about this even when we did Hatfield and McCoys.
Leslie was?
Yeah, oh yeah. This is a story he'd been trying to put together for a long time. And Hatfield and McCoys was a phenomenal hit for all of us. Yeah, I got lucky. I got put opposite Kevin Costner in that, and then he was talking about putting a lot of the same team together. Arthur Reinhardt, who's our DP, he came back for this. And then, of course, when Roland Joffe stepped into the mix, that just took the game to a whole nother level. And the story of the Texas Revolution, being from Texas and having a family relation to Sam Houston was a responsibility, but also, God, what a privilege. How many guys you grew up in Texas, get to, be at the Battle of San Jacinto, and then these great actors. They didn't really want anybody from Hatfield and McCoys. The network didn't, but somehow I ended up in it, and I'm really glad I got to do it.
Just the script and the fact that it was a Western, as an actor, you did something that you'd want to play, and then Roland. When I came on, I think Bill was the only one cast, but they were talking about a lot of the people who actually got it. Sort of Ride Horses, Roland Joffe. It just seemed like a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, when you have the possibility to be part of a project like that. I mean, with such a director like Roland, my fellow actors, and I had a part who was very interesting, full of contradictions, larger than life. He was too much, but too much in the nice way for an actor, because it feels like the part you read most of the time on the old play written a few centuries ago. And I was very inspired by that, so I did. Of course, I was not attached like Bill is historically and emotionally by the subject, but I get very, very interested and very involved in it, making some researches, interviewing some Mexicans, historians, and read some books, because I wanted also to fight from a Mexican point of view, and I'm not Mexican, so I mean, my wife is American, my children are American, so I will have it. It was complicated for me, but I definitely, from the time we were shooting, I was taking sides from Mexicans, and then I was going back to my friends and sharing margaritas. But that was a very interesting experience for me to be part of this project, yes.
Oh yeah, we all did. I mean, it's great to have real characters. When I did Hatfield and McCoys, Randall McCoy I went back to where the feud took place in Eastern Kentucky, but there's no written record. He was illiterate. He didn't write. But this was just a treasure trove. Sam Houston's life is very well documented, and God, he had like 9 lives. So I had a lot of fun, and I did a pilgrimage, kind of his life in reverse. I started out in Huntsville, Texas. I went to where he lived with the Indians in Tennessee, and then I ended up back in Virginia, where he was born.
You just go with the story, what's written. My family is slaughtered before my eyes, and I just want revenge for it. I was a farmer, was a religious man, and sees what he's done. One windy day, I end up at a church, and it all comes back. Like, wait a second, I'm a religious guy. This doesn't feel right. And there's a woman there whose family was slaughtered by the Indians. So I see her, and I want to help her out just to start redeeming myself. So, but all my stuff, it was written, and you just use your imagination.
We lived in Durango, Mexico, and we shot some of it in Durango, but most of it was in locations around Durango. This is a 450-year-old Spanish town. It was set there because they had a lot of silver and mining there. But going back to Mexico to shoot this and going back to an old country with an old culture really lent itself to the reality of this thing. And again, the artisans and the craftsmen down there, they had to fabricate everything. This is the world of 1836 Texas. So all this stuff had to be built, and the sets were incredible in the costuming.
No, there wasn't at all. This was
This
just
was
the
shot
movie.
like a big movie.
They shot it, and it's the first show ever to be shot in CinemaScope and for television, but it wasn't, you know, not television or movies. We're telling a story, and because of the amount of hours that we get to put on, it's you really get to delve into it. Where, you know, movies 2 hours and you're done. This was really, you got to see a lot of what these people went through.
And in these last 10 years, I think, especially in America, the quality of TVs have improved a lot. And we you know, it's not like TV when we started our career. It's kind of new TV now, and we don't really see. In this kind of project, I've done 10 years ago a movie with Helen Mirren and Anne Bancroft about a play from Tennessee Williams. And again, this is the same kind of experience. I mean, even this experience is even bigger than most of the movie I've done. I don't feel any difference anymore.
Just televisions themselves call for it. They're so big and they're so wide. It's perfect for this kind of show, especially. It really has changed. Because when we started out, if you're doing television, it's your career's over. Really, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, it was just different. The story of life happens now and then, of people wanting land or fighting over land. It's
freedom, independence.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happens today. You know, it's yeah.
And like Russia and Ukraine, for example, when we compare it to this conflict, the Russian thinks they're right and the Ukrainian thinks they are right. And the same here. The American thought they were right and the Mexicans thought they were right. And as a French actor with Spanish roots, like Santana actually, I saw it with this interesting perspective, because when it's related to my own history, I might be less smart about it because I get emotional. And it was very interesting for me to be from more far away than just to be a Mexican actor. That gave me more rank and distanciation with the emotional part of my character.
It's an action movie. There's, you know, there's battles and love stories, a little bit of everything.
Sweeping saga, like Dr. Zhivago or something like that.
This is in history class.
It's a big canvas.
And we wish the viewers to have as much fun to watch the movie than we have fun to make it.